There was a moment in history when humanity teetered on the edge of extinction, a time when our very existence hung by a thread. Fewer than 10,000 people survived. Every step they took was a desperate fight against a world turned hostile. The disaster that almost erased us began not with war, but with a mountain's wrath. Mount Toba had slept for millennia, but deep inside, fire was gathering strength. Our ancestors lived unaware of the danger, laughing, hunting, and telling stories under the warm savanna sun. One morning, the ground beneath their feet began to tremble with a force they had never felt before. The air grew heavy, carrying a strange, choking scent that signaled the beginning of the end. In an instant, the earth split open, and the sky filled with fire. Some ran. Some stood frozen in horror. All knew their world had changed forever. That night, the heavens themselves seemed to burn, and day would not return for years. Before the eruption, life was full of simplicity, yet rich in connection. Our ancestors thrived by the rhythms of nature, hunting and gathering to survive. The vast savannas were home to herds of antelope and wild buffalo, providing food and challenges for the early hunters. Berries, roots, and seeds were gathered along the banks of rivers, ensuring their survival in a fragile world. They traded shells, beads, and tools with distant tribes, forming connections that spanned miles. Around campfires, stories were shared under the vast, star-filled sky, lessons passed down from generation to generation. The children ran along riverbanks, laughing as they chased each other through the shallows, the world around them teeming with life. The hunters, skilled in their craft, stalked their prey with patience and precision. Mothers spent hours weaving baskets and preparing meals from the wild harvests, their hands steady and sure. The elders passed down their wisdom, teaching the young how to track animals, how to survive. The world was rich, full of promise. But this fragile balance would soon be shattered by nature's fury. Far from the savannah in what is now Indonesia, a dormant giant was stirring. Toba, the volcano, was waking up. For thousands of years, Mount Toba had slept quietly. But now, the earth beneath it began to tremble. Magma, swirling deep below the surface, began to gather in vast chambers, pushing against the earth. Creatures in the forest began to flee, sensing that something terrible was coming. Birds took to the sky in large flocks, their instinct guiding them away from the impending danger. The humans, living their lives, had no idea of the impending catastrophe.